So for context, everyone, it's like the like middle endish of March
Yeah.
right now, right? And obviously we're pre-recording all of these episodes, and part of the reason why we're doing it through Skype right now is because we can't even get into our office or our studio right now, because the governor has shut down basically non-essential all non-essential businesses. And so, you know, just looking at this environment, like there's going to be a shift that happens with how businesses do business, right? Whether it's from an internal standpoint, like, remote work is a big thing, obviously a big topic right now, but also, media consumption, right? And there's going to be a lot of people who are going to be at home over the next few weeks and few months. And, quite frankly, like the way people consume media has changed, right?
Yeah.
Like I know that like when I after dinner, like I don't go on and flip through the channels anymore. I go on YouTube and look at whatever YouTube's recommending to me, right? That's how people consume media now. And that recommendation, I guess, feed or news feed or whatever you want to call it for YouTube, it allows you to get your content in front of people when they're consuming just everything else,
Right.
right? So you have the ability to get like, I guess, business content, if you would, right?
Right.
It doesn't, I don't want to say marketing or sales content, but stuff related to your brand in front of people when they might be actually looking for a Taylor Swift music video or something
Totally.
like that.
Totally.
Which, quite frankly, like some people see that as a bad thing. I see that as a good thing, right? I think that because the recommendation algorithms on YouTube are just so good these days, that if you get someone to subscribe to your channel, like they can actually watch your content amongst like Taylor Swift stuff. And quite frankly, like that's great, man,
Right.
to get that kind of
Yeah, you're not
engagement. I'm
getting
not
that on
trying to
MTV,
convert
right?
them. Yeah, exactly. And I'm not trying to convert them into a customer with that video, but the point is that video that lays next to the Taylor Swift video needs to be some like funny, valuable, educational, whatever, right? But it gives you a chance to present your brand in a non-business way,
Right.
right?
Yep.
And I think that's why I really love this concept of YouTube. And you're all probably wondering, like, why do you guys keep talking about podcast and YouTube, But we'll get into that because I think that you need a podcast in order to grow a YouTube channel, right?
Yep. Agree. Yeah, if you're not, especially if you're not a media company or have your own media team, it becomes really
Right.
a really relevant, tangible like content play. I will
Yep.
say, going back to just kind of like what you were talking about with YouTube and the algorithm and getting your content in front of everybody. Um, I mean, it's it's crazy because these platforms are now pushing every channel that is in the slightest bit related to your algorithm, like you're saying. So it does a really
Yeah.
solid job of putting this in front of people that you would, like you were saying, Taylor Swift. Like if you go on MTV, like there's no way you're getting your brand in front of MTV unless you're Nike or whatever top name brand. And YouTube, we've said this many a times, is the second largest search engine in the world. So
Yep.
even when you type, like Google recommends the first 5 links, if they're related to a YouTube video, they put their brand YouTube with a clip up first. So it's a
Yep.
huge opportunity.
Yeah, and
Um,
you can show up in regular Google search
yeah,
in you if
that's
you're
yeah,
indexed on
exactly that,
YouTube,
and that's what I
right?
was, yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I was meaning.
Yeah. Yep.
Um,
So you get not only get the recommendation engine, but you also get to show up in regular search as well,
exactly,
which
yeah.
is huge.
The other thing is right now, if you're not producing content at scale, which is really
Yep.
scary, it's and just because of how everybody, especially just right now, and whatever the shift ends up happening after this, um, out of sight, out of mind becomes even bigger. Because if people aren't driving by your store, if you have a storefront, if they're not directly in your email list or whatnot, like out of sight, out of mind becomes really like relevant and fast. It happens fast. So if you're not putting content out consistently in a stream, so people can always at least just remember, oh hey, I saw this video. Maybe you don't watch it right away or whatever, but at least you'll have something in front of you kind of notifying you that like, oh, this company is still, putting out content, and, I should still follow and keep up with them. So I think that just becomes a bigger play as more people are becoming in this online environment, coming on more than ever now, and these platforms are growing. There's going to be more content funneled into them, so the chances of you getting in front, you have to. It's almost a numbers game at that point sometimes with how you play the amount of content.
Yeah, exactly. And I think whenever with our clients and like helping them build a YouTube strategy, um, one of the main things we have to talk about is how can we like help you upload at least one piece of YouTube content a week
Right.
to start with, right? And ideally, we're starting to upload 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces of content a week, and that can be really challenging, I think. And that's, I think that's one of the big obstacles for people trying to adapt to this shift in content, right? And when I say this shift in content, it's like moving from, let's say, like, I want to call it like plain text
Right.
over into like what we call
moving from Kindle
like
to
rich
iPad.
Media. Yeah, there you go. Exactly. Right. So like, I think it's like figuring out a way to build a strategy that allows you to like get as much possible content out of a single piece of pillar content.
Yep.
Right. So how do you make that content go the extra mile? And I think as content marketers, like everyone is always thinking about that. Right.
Right.
So.
Right.